This couch is very deep.
I know, it's like,
I'm like, hey. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode. I think this is episode 3 now. This is my friend Phoebe Campbell. She is the daughter of the pastor at my church that I go to, but overall just a very cool person and one of my super close friends. I feel like we've gotten closer over recently, so.
Thank God, yes. Very thankful for it.
But first things first, have you seen the new Moana,
trailer?
Like
the live
teasers?
action?
Yeah,
yes.
The live action one.
Yes.
What do you think?
I'm really excited. I'm really, are you not excited? I'm really excited.
I have mixed feelings.
Okay, I have mixed feelings only because I didn't get to see The Rock. Like, I didn't get to see what he looks like.
Oh.
Like, that was
that pushed it over the edge for you.
That was what I was most upset about. I was like, you could kind of see him for a second, but I didn't get to see him. And I just have never seen The Rock with hair, long hair.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I just am picturing it in my brain, but I want to see him
I
in
don't
real life.
think I've seen him with long hair either.
That's what I'm saying. And I just feel like that is gonna really improve my life quality. Seeing that. And so I was disappointed that hasn't happened for me yet.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm excited. You're not as excited as I am. I feel like I gave a wrong answer. Guys, I'm not that excited.
No, I'm excited to see it, but I feel like why did they make Hey Hey not look like a real chicken?
Yeah, that is weird.
It's supposed
Super
to be a
odd.
live action.
Yeah.
That's my only bone to pick with it.
That's not that bad.
They literally just I feel like they took the animated version and just tried to make it look realistic, but it looks like one of those rubber chickens.
Yeah, 100%. It should squeak.
If they're gonna CGI, just CGI a real chicken. It's a live
100%.
action, right? Make it a real chicken.
Yeah, it does seem like some of it looks cartoony.
Yeah, exactly.
It
It's
is
still
weird.
cartoony, but we're making it live action, so why? I don't know.
It's super interesting. The water scene where the water goes up, that looked like a cartoon. Which
Yeah,
I guess I don't know how you
exactly.
could make that. I don't know.
I don't either, but it's, I don't know. I'm just it's very, it's all, and it came out in 2016, and the sequel came out last year. So why are we making a live action already?
It seems pretty delayed to me. Either you needed to wait a couple more years and bring it back, or you should have done it sooner.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I just want to see The Rock with hair. So as long as that happens, I'm gonna be a fan. Might go see it twice. I don't know.
Perfect. I love it.
Well, I'm really pumped.
That's hilarious. Well, for those of you who don't know, so basically Phoebe and I grew up in the exact same area. We went to the same high school without even knowing it.
Crazy.
I don't think we ever, we did not know of each other at all.
I didn't know. Yeah, we didn't know each other.
Yeah, we didn't know each other at all until one of my best friends brought me to this church. And she happened to be here, and her parents happened to run the church, and it was like, oh my gosh, you went to that high school? I went to that high school, and it was a small world.
Such a small
We know
world.
all the same people.
All the same people, but not each other.
But not each other, which is crazy.
So weird.
But I mean, in a high school with almost 800 kids, I guess that happens.
I guess so. So weird.
800 kids in one class. So
Yeah.
each class was 800 kids.
Too
Freshman,
many.
sophomore.
Way too many.
That's so funny.
I know, it's crazy. But 4 years and never knowing each other.
I know!
I wish we would have known each other.
How weird is that?
I
That's
know.
wild.
It is wild.
Yeah.
Crazy. At least we know each other now.
It's that's kind of wild.
It is. It's so weird that we know all the same people, had
But
similar
never
classes.
knew each other.
Yeah. Granted, I was missing a front tooth my freshman year and had a southern accent because I just moved here from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
So it kind of was like a different person. It would have been like, hey, I'm Phoebe. And we might not have been friends after that. I don't know if that would have worked.
That's so funny. Okay, so tell me about South Carolina. You grew up there, right?
Yeah, I grew up in North Carolina. Okay. Yeah, so my graduating class would have been 12 people. And then I moved to LA.
Oh, that's wild.
And it was almost 1,200. Or however many it was. It felt like 1,200. So yeah, just a little bit different than LA public high school.
Were your parents preaching out there too?
Yeah, they're pastoring in North Carolina. Yeah, in a really small town. Which was a really great place to grow up.
I bet.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so when I visit, it just feels like home. So different than the South Bay, so different than LA.
I bet.
Yeah.
Me and Colin went to Texas last weekend, and even that we were like,
what? Texas feels like another country. Whoa. Texas feels like
it was
you are
such
somewhere
a culture
else.
Shock.
Yeah,
for
it's
someone who's been born and raised here your whole entire life. You go there, people have guns on their hips all willy nilly.
Oh yeah.
There's just boots and hats everywhere, and you're just like,
where am I? I know, it's so different. So that's very similar to where I grew up. Yeah,
that's so fun.
Crazy.
What was it like growing up as a pastor's daughter?
That is such a great question. I got lucky.
I've always wanted to ask you this.
Yeah, well, I mean, because usually pastor's kids, I can just say it since I am one. They're the worst. We can just be honest. I think it's you either go one of two
overly
ways.
obnoxious or
oh my gosh, I don't like pastor's kids. Just kidding. I love them, but like some,
like, wait, you are one.
Exactly. So I can say it. No, so it's either you're the best or the worst.
Oh,
kind of person.
really?
I don't know. Okay, so I'm just being real candid about this. I love
need
it.
to know the tea.
No, I just think that sometimes you can become like overfamiliar a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, like overfamiliar with people, with God, like take things for granted a little bit growing up in church. I feel like I had a really good experience, and I'm not just saying it, but I really do feel like I had a good experience. My parents weren't the kind of pastors that put the pressure on us. Any kind of pressure I felt like to like be a good pastor's daughter always came from myself or from other people.
Oh, so you have more intrinsic motivation rather than
yeah.
them putting that motivation on you.
Yeah, because I think that oftentimes when, like, there's some pastors that, like, with their kids, you know, really are, like, pushing that on them, and there's, like, a lot of pressure, and then usually the kids kind of go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like preacher's daughters, like, kind of thing. And so my parents were really good about,
Footloose.
like, yeah, like Footloose. Yeah, it could have been me. I can't dance, but.
Okay, you ready? Here's Phoebe.
Yeah, I'm ready.
A picture of Julianne Huff.
So funny. Wait, how'd you get that picture of me? That's crazy.
Wow, I don't know. It just popped up. I just Googled you, and it was right there.
That's so funny. I love it. No. Yeah. No, it was honestly, I'm really grateful for it. Like, I'm very thankful for getting to be raised by parents that introduced me to Jesus. Like, every day of my life, I've known about God. And then I went from, like, knowing a lot about God to then having my own relationship with God that wasn't theirs and wasn't something that was forced. Like, they definitely gave me every opportunity. I was always in church, all of that, and it was a priority in our family, but it wasn't forced upon me, if that makes sense.
Okay. What do you think it would have been like had you have not found your own love for God? Do you think they would have at that point like tried to maybe like teach a little bit more? Like, how do you think they would have gone about that? Do they ever talk about that, of like, what if you didn't come to Christ on your own?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think they probably wouldn't have changed anything. I don't want to speak
really?
for them.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they trusted God enough, I guess would be the right thing, that they've got me into any kind of environment for me to have my own relationship with God, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so I was always in a place where a space in a place where people were talking about God that weren't them, and that people would like believe in me that weren't them. And so it was nothing that was like, okay, this is my parents' religion or this is my parents' relationship with God. They really like encourage us to have our own without having a pressure of like proving they have a relationship with God, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so, or being like a lot of rules about it. And so I think for them, I don't know if it was ever an option or an idea in their head that I wouldn't eventually find that for myself because of what they've experienced and like the goodness of God. And yeah, I just kind of feel like that's, I don't want to speak for them on that, but yeah.
No, that's dope. Do you think, did you feel like it was ever like hard, like when you moved from North Carolina, because North Carolina, right? Mm-hmm. North Carolina was probably a lot more open about like Christianity.
Yeah.
And more like accepting of it, right? Or,
everyone and their mother was a Christian.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So totally. It's like, because like when we went to Texas, it was like liquor stores were closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
It was like there's a church at every corner.
Every corner.
It's the same thing. Okay.
Same thing. Everyone goes to church. Like a lot of things are closed on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's super interesting, the difference. And it's more of a cultural thing in the South, I think, which is interesting.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's very different.
Do you feel like that was harder to like make friends here because of that? Like people had like an idea of, oh, like her family's Bible thumpers or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I really struggled, especially with friendships. So like moving, I mean, the front tooth missing didn't help, but and the Southern accent probably didn't help. But I think, yeah, I mean, I grew up in the South where everyone was a Christian. Everything for the most part felt safe and like a small town, small community. And then moving and not knowing a single person and starting in public high schools and Christian school in the South, public high school in LA or South Bay was so different, and I really struggled, and also like struggled as a person, I think freshman year and I guess all of high school, of just being like really insecure and had like almost counted myself out from friendships before that even happened. So yeah, I do think I didn't know a lot of Christians.
So that was a big thing for you, was finding those friendships.
Yeah.
Oh, so you weren't even really like influenced by other people in that way, because like I guess what I'm trying to say is, for me growing up, like I always wanted to be included. I always wanted to be popular. I always wanted to be, I want to be friends with these people because like they have all the friends. Like, was that not really a thing for you?
Oh, I think it totally was.
It was? Okay.
I think it totally was. And then I also think there was this other combination of I was so insecure. I would like tell myself there's no way I ever could. So I'd count myself out. Like, oh, I could never be friends with whoever that I wanted to be friends with. So I'd almost like exclude myself and isolate a little bit from people. Because I would count myself out, which is so sad. And one of my biggest regrets about high school is like, oh, if I could go back, I would never want to go back now. But if I could, I'm like, oh, I wish I could just like shake myself and like, you know, not be so insecure and really go after like being people's friends.
Did you feel like it was almost like you felt like shameful of it, or just like, what would you describe that feeling?
Yeah, I don't know. Sure, I'm sure there was some shameful. I think there was just like a lot of loneliness and just like, you know, like negative self-talk, all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, I like really struggled.
So common for kids in that age though.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I like part of my story too is I was bullied in North Carolina, and then my freshman year got bullied, and both of the people were saying the same things. And so in my mind, I'm like, if somebody across the states
it must be true.
It must be true. Wow. I'm like, unless they know each other and are secretly, you know. And so that was like really tough for me. And I think that added to a lot of getting in the way of friendships. And yeah, it was just hard. I struggled, I was shy, all the things.
How did you kind of like overcome that with, I guess, being a follower of Christ? Like if people are watching and they're like, yeah, I'm experiencing the same thing. I don't have any friends, or I feel like an outcast, or these people are saying this about me, so like it must be true because this person's also said that about me. How did you like overcome that?
Yeah, it was a struggle. It was so hard. And I think honestly, it took years of healing from that later, but in the moment, I did have a good friend that I knew was a Christian, and she went to a different church than me, and they had a youth group on, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday nights. And so I started going with her. She invited me one time. It took everything in me to even go. Like, I was so anxious and nervous, and like, I only know the one person, and I'm meeting them there. What if they're not there?
And you were like 17 or how old?
Probably like 15.
Oh, 15. Okay.
Yeah, like 14, 15. And I started going on Tuesday nights, and it was like really such a God thing because there was a lady youth pastor, her and her husband youth pastor, but she kind of was the one who was like preaching every night. And she just, for some reason, like zoned in on me, and like I don't know why, but just like really spoke life over me, and like just like met me where I was. I don't know if she could tell, she probably could, that I was really shy or nervous or whatever, and she just like remembered my name the first week, which was crazy because there were like hundreds of kids, and just like really took me in and introduced me to a bunch of young girls that also went to, and so it was really good. Yeah, so I had like a couple like core group of girls that was good, that were like really good friends that some I still talk to. Like now we all live different places, but yeah, so that like was really helpful. That's so and cool. Even during like the lonely like seasons, there were still some of those girls that I knew in community, so that was really good.
Oh, that's awesome. So then how did you get into doing like youth ministry?
It's crazy question. I love it. Crazy question. Yeah, I never thought I would do youth ministry ever in my life because middle and high school was the worst for me. Like I hated it, like that whole season. So then to be not brought back, but like then be with like middle and high school.
That was God being like, this was horrible for you, so we're gonna take it and make it new now.
It's so true, and dude, so crazy. So when I first felt like called to youth ministry was actually the last week of school, my senior year.
Oh wow.
So crazy.
Really?
And so yeah, it was so crazy. I was in main hall, which I tripped up the stairs.
Main hall bathrooms.
Terrible. I'm confessing a lot. I used to because when I was lonely, I literally would like walk around campus pretending to be busy or sit in the main hall bathrooms. So I have like main hall bathrooms trauma. No, it's so funny.
I would sit in if I was lonely, I would sit in the 800s building.
800s building was nice. See, you picked the bougie bathrooms, and I was like, I'm in main hall. This is it. I tripped. Oh my gosh, my first day of school, my freshman year, I tripped walking up the main hall steps.
Oof.
And like skinned my knee and was bleeding. It was great. Great way to start. Great way to start the year. And I was like, I'm sorry, we don't have stairs in North Carolina. Like, I don't know.
We don't have outside schools here. We have weather.
Yeah, no, totally. No, it was so crazy. But yeah.
So funny.
No, it was so bad. So I was walking in main hall again my senior year. Like, I think it was like the last week before we graduated. And I was like walking through and I was like, honestly, like in my head, just like thinking, I'm like, thank God I never have to be here again. Like I'm like, we made it. Like we're done. Like I'm gonna go to college. Like we're done with this season, and we made it. And like I don't even know if this is biblical, so don't make fun of me. But I like almost felt like God was laughing at me.
It's a judgment-free zone.
Judgment-free, which is great. I do think God has a sense of humor.
Oh, he totally does.
100%.
Are you kidding?
100%. The funniest guy. Funniest.
Just some things that happen sometimes. I'm just like, okay, yeah, that was funny.
100%.
But like, stop.
100%. I'm like, that was like funny and very specific.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or even like, have you watched The Chosen?
Yeah, I love it.
One
Yeah.
of my favorite TV shows right
It's
now.
so good.
But even that, the way they portray Jesus' humor is so funny.
Yeah, I
Like,
love it.
what was that one scene where I think Simon Peter was like pissed off at something, or he was mad about something, and then he was like, oh, but you already know that, don't you? And he was like, everyone here knows what you're thinking, Simon. It doesn't take God's wisdom. And I was like, that's so funny.
So good. That show is so good.
I love that show.
It's really good.
It has made me cry.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a visual learner.
Yeah. It's
So
so
I
good. It makes you
need,
feel
like,
so real.
It does. And
Yeah.
it's, I think, like, when you compare it to, like, Passion was very, like, brutal.
Yeah,
Like, that
intense.
showed the true, like, brutality of what
Yeah.
Jesus went through on the cross. I feel like once we get to season 6 of The Chosen,
Yeah.
they've created such an emotional attachment to these characters that it's just gonna be, like, heavy.
Yeah.
Instead
100%.
of like, oh, that's hard to watch, it's gonna be like, no, it's hard to watch because I'm so connected to these characters.
It's
Which
so
is like
true.
exactly what I feel like the disciples felt in that moment. So I'm like, I
100%.
can't, I'm gonna cry.
I know. Oh, yeah, I will cry. 100%. Be ready. Waterproof mascara, all of it, because...
Dude, I already cried, speaking of like, oh my gosh, I already cried at the scene where the woman who was bleeding for 12
Oh,
years,
yeah.
when she touched his garment, and
Yeah.
then she was like, I'm no one's daughter.
Yeah.
And he was like, daughter. And I was just like,
I know. It's so moving. I know.
I was sitting there like crying.
It's so moving.
Dude, yeah, especially for me, like growing up in like a broken family, like
Yeah.
that felt like,
Yeah.
I don't need my earthly parents, I just need you.
Yeah.
As much as I love my earthly parents.
Totally.
But like,
Totally. That's what's so cool about the Bible is because like you can, yeah, it's so personal. I love it.
It's so
like how God speaks to us differently, and like what even scenes or scriptures in the Bible like speak to us so personally. So beautiful.
it's so pretty. And I feel like your
Crazy.
perspective shifts a lot too once you start building a relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
Like so much deeper.
Yeah.
Your perspective just
Yeah.
shifts.
It's so crazy. And it's so crazy. Like you can read the same story or listen to it and just like what God speaks to you
Yes.
individually, or even again, like I'll reread something that I've read before and I'm like, have I read this before? Like, because I'm like getting all these different like things out of this that I never even noticed in
Do
the
you have a
scripture
specific
before.
one that like stuck out to you?
Oh man, like okay, so the last one that was like crazy for me and like convicting for me was with our youth we were like reading about John, like the book of John, as we were studying it, and I was reading just like the Last Supper before Jesus is betrayed, all of that, and this is so bad. I went to Bible college and I didn't know this, and maybe I did, and I
can't
just
know
forgot.
everything.
Oh yeah, and I definitely don't, and I never would. I just was like, oh, I feel like I should have known this, but I just was rereading, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this, or I forgot.
Oh, wait, that's so good. I knew this, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm like,
I love that.
100%.
I
Yeah,
love that.
and I was reading, and I am so like, I read like the disciples, and I get so frustrated because I'm like, these guys, like the disciples frustrate me so much. Like, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest.
That one scene where in The Chosen where he was like, rain down your fire on them.
Yes.
And God's like, you want to use the power of God, bring down fire. And they're like,
Literally.
well, it sounds bad when you say it that way.
I
That
know.
was so funny.
I know. And I can just see myself like I am so Peter. Like Peter, everything about Peter is
I
me.
love
Like
it.
I'll read it and I get really frustrated with Peter, and I'm like, that is my personality. Like to a
He's
T.
so relatable though. I feel
Yeah.
like he's like one of the most relatable disciples.
Because he's crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
and he has a
literally.
temper.
Yeah. And just like, cuts off the guy's ear. I'm like, I would do that. I would do that for Jesus. Like, I don't know. I just can like see myself, or like he like freaks out. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
So you
And
knew it, but
Peter.
you didn't know what was it.
Oh yeah, sorry, John. So I'm not like
John.
John. But it literally says in the Bible, because John is so funny. In the whole book of John, he doesn't call himself John. He calls him the disciple that Jesus loved, which is hilarious because he's the one who wrote it.
That.
Yeah, well, he wrote it about
Oh,
himself.
wait, I didn't
And so
connect
it's so
that.
funny.
Wait, that's so
that's
funny.
hilarious. And so every single time it's like the one Jesus loved, and he's talking about himself, and I'm like, this guy. And I just love it. Like, the most important thing that he could say about himself is that he was loved by Jesus. That'll preach. Like, that's crazy. But I was reading it, and
I've
then
literally never made that connection before.
I know.
Wait, that's
Isn't that
so funny.
And he writes, okay, you like look, because he's like says so many funny
I
things.
need to
like,
I need to go read the book of John now
No,
and have a different
seriously.
perspective is everything.
Perspective.
Wait, that's hilarious.
And like he says something about like outrunning one of the other disciples, like John was faster, or the one Jesus loved was faster, or something like something.
He's like, let me just toot my own horn here.
It is so funny. I'm like, I love this so much. Like, it's just amazing.
Oh, that's so funny.
But I was reading, and Jesus tells John who is going to betray him. Like, actually by name.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't he say, like, the one I hand this
Yes.
bread to or something like that?
Yeah, and he was the only one that knew. And I just was thinking about, like, God just really spoke to me. I was like, Jesus could never entrust me with that information. Like, I'm just being really honest. And he didn't entrust everyone with that information. Like, he, like, told the one Jesus loved that information. And I just thinking, like, Peter couldn't handle it. If Peter was going to do the ear thing, think
Peter
about
could
what
not
he
have
would have
handled it.
done.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I was just, I don't know, God was just speaking to me a lot about that when I was, like, preparing for the youth of just, like, man, what can Jesus entrust me with? I want to be like John. Like, I want to be entrusted with those kind of things. And too many times I'm like the other disciples. So it's just random.
How do you feel like we can apply that, like, to our lives?
That's
like
great.
a really great...
It's a great question.
Great question.
What I got from it.
Yeah, what did you get from that when you read that? Like,
it was
what
just,
spoke to you?
Yeah, well, what spoke to me was it said that, like, every single time I was reading through the text, it kept talking about how close John was to Jesus, like, even physically, like, would be near him. And so it says that he was, like, the closest, like, physically, like, next to him, next to Jesus. And so he, like, chatted with him and asked. And just for me, what God was speaking to me, okay, like, my closeness with, like, get as close as you can to Jesus, and you're going to be entrusted, and he's going to speak to you, and will entrust you with stuff. And so that's just, like, the takeaway I got from it. And there's probably awesome. So much more that other people that are smarter than me would be able to pull from it.
It's like saying, like, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Like, I put you here for a reason. I've trusted you with a certain path for a reason.
Yeah.
I feel like that can be so hard because we can get so caught up in what we want.
100%.
Like, but in reality, it's like, no, God has this path for you for a reason. Like, even, and that's why I'm saying, like, perspective is so important, because even for me, like, when I first started nursing, I thought I was going to be a labor and delivery nurse. Yeah. I was put in a labor and delivery unit on night shift, but at that time, I was experiencing what I was telling you about earlier with my content and being in a dark place with that.
Yeah.
And I could not focus on, like, what God was trying to do. I was just like, night sucks, like, I can't sleep, I'm missing out on this daytime with these friends who were not serving me at all. Who were probably pushing me further away from God than towards God. But I didn't trust him. I was just like, no, like, I can't do this anymore, I'm not doing it. And I was so far from him. And now when as I'm like, I feel like deepening my relationship with him and I've gotten closer, I can see things through a different lens, where, like, I'm back, not in labor and delivery, but the NICU, but, like, very close-knit and on night shift again. It's so weird. I have felt like this past season of my life has been like, it's like a do-over, where he's like, no, this is what I want you to do. Yeah. You were far from me when I tried to have you do it here and you didn't trust me, and you see where that kind of went. Now I've led you back to me and we're still going this direction, but you have to trust it. Yeah. So, like, now I'm back on nights. I'm still working with babies. And now, like, I just had my first night shift last night and I was like, this is great. I'm getting paid more to do less work. Yeah. And I get to be here with these babies in, like, the middle of the night. And then I get to go home, sleep. And then I get to come and do things like this during the day. I still have that time. So it was like my mind just, like, shifted differently about it.
So good. I love that.
So I don't know. I feel like that's, like, perspective is so important.
It's so important.
And it's like how the Bible, when you read things, you get something different from it every single time. Yeah. And I love that.
It's so crazy how that happens. I love it. Yeah, and, like, a new grace on that season too is so cool.
Exactly. Do you feel like you've ever had something like that where it's like you were put in a situation, you didn't trust him at all, and then, like, he re-put you into that situation?
Oh yeah. Or like there's a time, like, test you feel like you're being tested or whatever, and I fail. like, let's be for real. I have definitely failed some tests. Yeah. Oh, 100%. And then, once you finally pass, you're, like, so stoked, and it gets easier. It's almost like a muscle. Easier. Yeah, it's almost like a muscle memory of, like, okay, like, I can trust God.
Can you think of anything that like that's happened?
On the spot?
I think so, yeah.
Of like test I fail. I mean, just like to be vague. There's so many times just trusting God that He knows better. And I think one thing lately is I've been thanking God for like unanswered prayers. Yeah, like there have been so many times, just in the last few years, of like times that I have like really like let God know that I wanted something, or that I was disappointed or really frustrated with how something turned out, and like could not see past why God wasn't allowing certain things to happen, whether it was like a relationship, whether it was like a friendship, whether it was like a job. Yeah, and it's like, it's a good thing.
Is like, I need it.
Yeah, and it's like not a bad thing. It's not like I'm saying I want something bad for me. I'm like, this is a good thing, but it wasn't a God thing. And I just feel like lately there's just been some things happening that I'm like, thank you, God, for not listening to me. Thank you, God, for not answering. And you were listening to me, but thank you for not answering those prayers, because you had better. Thank you for your nose. Yeah. And in the time, I was not thankful for the nose at all. And, just like had to bite my lip and be like, okay, God, I trust you. You've been faithful so many times. And like, I know that, but I really feel like you should do it this way. Yeah, and I'm like, if you look, I have a really good plan of how you could do this. It'd be less work for you if you just did my plan. And it's like, He has a way better plan. Like, just get rid of that when it sucks. Like, it's so hard in the moment to like see past that.
Totally.
But yeah, just living in like the season of, I am so thankful that God did not answer those prayers.
No, and same thing for me, where I'm like, back when I first started making content, so her and I were talking earlier, I was telling her about like how my content is shifting, because I feel like I was in a space of darkness when I first started making content, and there's not a lot of creators, I feel like, bringing light to this space. Like, everything is super over sexualized, everything is just, I feel like, very dark and very heavy, and I wanted to still make videos about those interests while still doing it in a way that would glorify God and not take me further away from Him, which I was definitely being taken further away from. And I feel like the power of discernment is like really important there. How do you feel like you've been able to develop that muscle better, like over time? Like, how have you done that?
Yeah, that's
something I struggle with.
Yeah, discernment's so tough, because I don't know about you, but I get in my head of like, is this me or is this God?
I do that too.
Yeah, like all the time.
I'm like, am I seeing this because I'm focused on it and I'm thinking about it, or is God wanting me to see this because this is where He wants me to go?
100%. And I'm an overthinker.
Me too.
It can be really hard.
We're anxiety girlies.
Yeah, anxiety girlies. Look, been set free, but
it's a struggle.
And to be real, honestly, discernment is so tough, and it is a muscle memory. I think that's so good. It's like a muscle you have to like build. I think for me, I decided that it's okay to be wrong, to discern wrong, and really like recognize that I'm not gonna discern things right all the time, and I can't let that stop me from like really trying to navigate that going forward, or trying to build or grow in that spiritually. There have been so many times that I've discerned things wrong, and it was my flesh and not God. So many, too many to count. But yeah, I think as you kind of keep going and you still like really, again, get close to Jesus, make sure your like relationship with Him is good. I think that gets a little bit more, like you hear from God clearer, and I think it's easier to discern. And then as long as you don't beat yourself up or overthink and like punish yourself almost when you are off, or you feel like you heard God wrong in a sense, I think it gets easier. At least for me.
Discerning things wrong is something I feel like I struggle with a lot, because like recently, so there's a friend that I have who recently decided to no longer be my friend, and it was like super heartbreaking, because like she was in my wedding, and it was just like, a huge thing, and I tried to apologize, and like we tried to move on from it, but she wasn't able to move past it, and so like that's totally fine, if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel, there's nothing I can do about it. But I was invited to like a group get together with the friend group that we had, and I knew she was gonna be there. It's so funny. I wonder if Chrissy's gonna watch this, because I called her in the car.
I love it.
And I was like, because I was struggling with it like all day. I was like, how do I know whether or not I should go to this event knowing she's gonna be there?
Yeah.
How do I don't know what to do, because I felt so hurt by her decision to cut ties with me that I was just like, all I did was be honest with her. Like, But, you know, I guess maybe I could have been less honest, but then that wouldn't have been me. Like, I don't want to lie. I don't want to sugarcoat, but maybe I could have been nicer. Like, I'm so mad that she would do that. She's in all my wedding photos. Like, I thought I made it clear how I felt about her type of thing. And so then I was just like, God, what do? I was like, do I go? Do I not go? Like, I don't know what to do. I was like, do I just go, you know what? If she doesn't want to, fine, she doesn't deserve access to my life. Like, maybe he's pulling me out of that friendship and he's trying to keep me out of a lion's den. Yeah. Like, maybe that's why I shouldn't go. And then part of me was like, no, you should go, because you should still go and show your ability to have love for people who have hurt you. You should still go to show them that you're going to be there for them no matter what. You should still go to show her, or them in general, or anyone in any situation, that like, no, if you want to put that boundary up with me, that's perfectly fine, but I'm still going to love you regardless. Yeah. And I struggled with the discernment aspect of it. I was like, I can't tell what to do, especially with like boundaries, because I was like, okay, well, Jesus, when Nazareth rejected him, he didn't return. Yeah. But at the same time, he loves those who rejected them. So like, what do? I called Chrissy and I was like, I don't know what to do. Yeah. I was like, I'm feeling so frustrated and I don't know if I should go or if I shouldn't go. And in hindsight it's 2020, because like that's such a first world problem, and like what a like silly thing to be stressing about. But it was like, that's such a great example of like, I struggle with the discernment. I'm like, how do I know what I'm supposed to do? So I ended up going and it was fine. Awesome. But like, going kind of showed me, okay, yeah, like these friendships aren't for you anymore. And so like that was kind of like closing a chapter. And so it was just like, maybe that had to happen for a reason, because God is trying to grow me in a way that these people just aren't meant to be a part of anymore. Yeah. But it was like, in the moment, I couldn't see that at all. Yeah, totally. When it's blurry. Yes. Yeah. And he was like, you just have to trust me. I'm like, but how? Do I trust you by not going, or do I trust you by going? So true. And then you don't want to miss God. Like, you don't want to do the wrong thing. Exactly. I'm like, how do I know what the right thing is? 100%. I think that's so real. And like, yeah, I know you're saying it's a first world problem, but it's a big thing at the same time. Like, it's a big, like, there's a lot of feelings, emotions, all of that. Like, it's real. I know. I definitely have been there where I'm like, I do not want to miss God. Like, that was my biggest fear for a long time. And then I wouldn't make decisions, because I'm like, I don't want to pick the wrong thing, or whatever. And I've just decided, if you're pursuing God and you're really honestly like, okay, I surrender my life to you and I trust you, you can't make a wrong decision with that kind of stuff. Like, I genuinely do. And even if you didn't make the right one, whatever, you're not going to go so far off from God. Like, you can't miss what he has for you. I personally think that, like, if you live a life surrendered and you like truly try to honor him, you're not gonna miss God. Like, those two things, like, he's gonna be able to work with either one. No, that's awesome. Because I still to this day struggle with making decisions. It's like, tough. I can't make decisions. It's tough. It's so hard. And it's like, it's almost kind of like where I was talking to you earlier about like shame. It's almost like a feeling of shame where I'm like, well, if I make the wrong choice, I'm a horrible person. Yeah. People are gonna like, I'm gonna be a burden to people. They're gonna resent me. And it's like this shameful thing. Yeah. And shame. I'm like, that's why I'm like, how did you move past that? And you said you preached about that to the teens the other day, shame, right? Yeah. What did you tell them? We've been talking a lot about shame, and just the conversations I've had with some young people post that has been crazy. Just to know how many young people have dealt with shame, or are currently struggling with shame. I don't know, for me, sometimes I forget about how real that is at that age, but we've been talking about shame a lot. And I was studying, and there's a scripture that says that Jesus despised shame. And I looked up like the Hebrew word for that, or the Greek word. It's Greek. Oh, wow. And I can't tell you what the Greek word is right now at the top of my head. If I had my notes, I would. Okay, well, let's say Greek word for shame. Yeah, it's in scripture. It's like, yeah, I could find it. But anyways, it's the one time that word is used in the Bible, like for that, like the shame or the despised. It's the word despised that we were talking about. And so I like asked the students, I was like, okay, if you had to pick one thing that you thought Jesus despised, what do you think it would? Because the Bible says one thing he despised, like one thing for this word. And obviously there's like moments of the Bible, Jesus like, flipped tables when people were selling stuff in churches, all of that. There's like a lot of things that, of course, like Jesus had like righteous anger about, but there's one thing in the Bible that says that he despised. And so I asked them, like, what do you think it would be? And like a lot of the kids said like sin, sinners, like specific sins. They were naming all these things. And what the Bible says is it's shame, which is so crazy to me. Like, I'm like,
wait, Jesus despised shame, and like why? So I just began like studying it, and it's because shame is the thing that really tries to keep us from God. Shame, like when we feel shame, we try to hide, like, and that's like nothing new. Adam and Eve, the first thing they did was try to hide because they felt shame after sin. And when we sin, shame comes in, and it kind of says like, instead of saying what we did was wrong, it says I'm wrong.
Yes.
And it's like a personal,
I'm bad.
Yeah.
I can't do anything right.
Yeah. And so many times it keeps us from God. And Jesus literally despised it. And so it's really cool. Like for me, just like was like just kind of sharing that and teaching that of like Jesus literally came so that you could have a relationship with him.
Because he loves us so
Yes.
much. There's nothing you could do
Yes.
that I won't love you for.
Literally. And shame is gone and sin is broken. Like when you have a relationship with God, there's no more shame. Like that is literally erased. And it's hard for my brain.
Shame is gone and sin is broken.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. It's like the craziest thing. And I just think it's really cool that Jesus despised shame because I despise it too. I'm like, because it's so true. Many times it paralyzes us and like keeps us in a cycle of shame. Like it's like a paralyzing thing that happens. And I've just seen like God really take shame off of my life, and the difference that I live now, like shame-free, is unmatched. Like my life is so much better without shame.
What are the ways in which you feel like he's taken that burden off of you?
Yeah, so I had a lot of shame, just like personal like story. Yeah, like I had a lot of shame when I was younger. Really dealt with like when I was just like low, like depression, anxiety, and just like a lot of thoughts of like no longer being here in high school. And as a pastor's daughter, like we were talking about earlier, and as a Christian, there was so much shame attached to that. Like I was like, I live a privileged life. I have all these things. Why do I feel this way? And there was just like this heavy shame. And it like led to like darker places like down the road of that. And I just had this moment like at my lowest moment where I just like was not in a good place. I had somebody pray over me, and it was like the craziest thing. And that sounds so simple, like, oh, they just prayed. Like, I'm telling they prayed, and they had no idea what was going on in my head, like the weight of why that needed to happen in that moment and what could have happened if they didn't. And I just remember there being like this heaviness on my life, like I felt like a dark cloud, felt like I couldn't even put my shoulders like straight all the way. Like honestly, I was like such in a dark place, and somebody prayed over me, and they prayed randomly, shame off of you. And as that happened, I just like, it felt like a hug from Jesus, like honestly. And it just felt like this weight lifted, like a crazy amount of weight. I could put my shoulders back, and it just was like this crazy, like tangible feeling, but also just like healed so much from the shame of all of that. And it lifted off, and like my life has not been the same since. And I've been able to see God do that in people, like young people in our youth group. Like they'll come in, and you can just tell that they're like down, they're heavy, like whatever. And over time, whether it's in worship, whether it's somebody praying for them, or just over time, God's doing this work, just the shame being lifted off of them, and like genuinely being able to see a difference in their countenance and everything.
Wow.
It's pretty powerful.
It's insanely powerful because it's like our flesh so badly wants to just fit in everywhere.
100%.
But like we weren't designed to fit in everywhere.
I know.
We were designed to fit in the kingdom.
Yeah.
We weren't designed to fit in here.
Yeah.
This is temporary.
Totally.
That's forever.
Yeah.
And
just
that,
crazy.
like, that's insane. And
Yeah.
it's like, that's so hard to wrap your head around. It takes like years, I feel like, of being able to like actually understand that.
Yeah.
Especially like for teenagers.
100%.
Because their whole world is their peers.
Yeah.
Versus
100%.
like when we grow up now, us in our 20s,
Yeah.
we're like, friends come and go.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Got some lifers. Thankful for the lifers.
Yeah, I got some poor lifers,
Yeah.
but for the most part, people come and go. And
Yeah.
it's like all you can do is just, what does me feeling heavy and shameful about that do?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing but make things worse.
100%.
Because like the enemy literally wants us to hate ourselves.
100%.
Because he didn't have a body.
100%.
He wants us to hate our bodies.
Yeah.
He wants us to look in the mirror and go, I'm so ugly.
Yeah.
I can't believe I did that. I'm a horrible person.
Yeah.
Because that's how he
100%.
tears us away from God, because we were made in the image of God.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a body, so he wants
Yeah.
to tear that down as
It's crazy. Yeah.
most as he can.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
100%. It does.
It's wild.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Yeah. And I think it's a common thing that isn't talked about a lot that people really struggle with, is like the attack of like how you, body image, all of that kind of stuff, just you as a person, like man, the shame and then also like the insecurity with that is pretty intense. Can be. Yeah. For sure.
I think that's what's hard about insecurity too, is because like you can look in the mirror and be like, oh, I wish this was different about myself. I don't really like this. Like, why can't my hair be like a little bit longer? Why can't my arms be like a little bit slimmer? And that's something that I struggled with a lot. Oh my gosh, over the past 2 years, like as I was so far away from God, I would just look at myself and be like, I'm so ugly. I'm so fat. Like, I can't. Like, I didn't, like TMI, but I literally didn't want to have sex with my husband for a long time because I was just like, I'm so ugly. He was like, no, you're not. You're beautiful. And I was like, no, I'm not. And I was so far from God there. And it was like, I can look back now and be like, wow, the enemy did such a great job at like tearing me from God.
100%.
Because it's like that's with Judas where God's like, I had your heart. Or Jesus is like, I had your heart. Like, who has your heart now? Like, I want it. I had it before. And I, like back then I was like, shoot, like he always wants my heart. He had it. And then it was gone. But now it's back. And it's like, you can't recognize those patterns until you're like out of them.
Totally.
But it's so hard to get out of them.
It's so hard to get out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is so funny too. I don't know if you've noticed this. Sometimes the hardest thing for me is like if I've done the hard work, because it's such a process, right? Of like, if I'm insecure in my body and I feel like God's like, okay, he's healed a little bit. Like, you know, we're on this journey and I've come a little bit further. Then the enemy attacks and it feels like you lose ground and you're like, what did everything that I've been working towards like for 2 years just get undone by like one stupid thought of the enemy? I think that has been the most frustrating thing for me, where I'm like, no, I beat this. Like God healed me from this like 8 years ago or like whatever. I haven't felt like this since high school, and like the enemy is not that creative. Like,
no, he's
he
not.
will get back to what he knows works. And yeah, it's what's crazy. Like I think it's so cool about just like, you know, the years of like seeing God work and seeing the ups and downs and in-betweens of that, of just like being like, man, the enemy sucks. And
no,
God
for
is
real.
good.
Well, you know that saying, what is it? It says, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers.
Yeah, I want to get off that list.
Yeah, I do too. I'm like, I don't necessarily like that.
No.
Because I feel like, I literally thought of it before I came here. I was like, but I'm not a strong soldier, and that's why I need him. Yeah. Because he is my strength.
Yeah.
Like sin was a thing. Free will was a thing. Yeah. Sometimes difficult things, hard things, bad things are going to happen, and we're not strong enough to go through it on our own. 100%. We need him to be able to get through it.
100%.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't particularly love that saying. It's so funny because it's used so vastly.
I know. It's so funny. Like every year, it's like, I know I'm going to see it soon, where it's like 2026. I'm just hoping I'm not on the God's Strongest Soldiers list or something. Yeah, like I could have won 4 years in a row or something like that. I know. It's so true. Yeah. It is. It's tough.
Yeah. What are your goals for like ending out this year?
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, going into the new year, ending out this year, yeah, I just want to stay faithful, I think is good. Like faithful with the things that he's entrusted me with, that I've said yes to, like finish well those things. And then, going into the new year, I feel like this year I have laughed the most I've ever laughed. Oh, yeah, which has been so cool. Awesome. Wasn't even on my radar to do this year. Oh, so I want another year. I want another year of laughter. I want laugh lines at 25, 26.
Live, laugh, love.
I want to live, laugh, love.
I want to live, laugh, love.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I just want to I want to laugh. I want to have joy. I want to have all those things. And so I want 2026 to be the year of laugh.
I love that.
Part 2. Yeah. What about you? What are you wanting?
I don't know.
I know, it's a tough.
There's a lot of uncertainty in Colonize's future right now because we don't know if, like, where we live is going to be dependent on what he decides to do. Yeah. If he goes back to school, we will probably have to move to wherever he goes to school because there's not a lot of schools in California. Versus if he didn't go back to school, then we're like, can we afford to stay here? Do we need to move regardless? Yeah. Because we want to, if he goes back to school to become a nurse anesthetist, we want to be here because he would make more money here. So I think like one of my biggest goals is, and also I don't even know like what my future with my job holds. I'm like, I want to start doing this and I want to be able to do this like full time. That would be amazing. Amazing. But I also do love nursing, and I love babies, but I also really like bigger kids. And then the idea of like the pediatric ICU has been put on my mind. But then I'm like, but right now I'm in the NICU. Like, I don't really know. And there's just like so many things that are just not certain. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen. God knows what's going to happen. And I think I just want to be able to strengthen that muscle of trusting him more. Yeah. Because I feel like I have a really great start right now. Yeah. But I want to do it deeper. Yeah. And I want to be able to be like, no, you know, I'm perfectly content and whatever happens, happens. Yeah. But now I find myself still being like, okay, well, what if we do? I'm like, I need to stop freaking out on it because I can't do anything about it. I can't control it.
I love it.
So yeah, that's probably my goal for the end of the year.
It's real. I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much everything I feel like I have. I feel like we got to like a really good endpoint.
Yeah. It's so good.
So fun. That was a great conversation. Oh my gosh. Wait, you said some things where I was like, oh no. Wow. Oh wow, that was so good. Like, ooh, that was good.
I'm so weak.
That was so
just
fun.
Yapping. So fun. I love it. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm honored.
No, thank you for doing this.
So fun.
I was like super excited I was like, I want to start having some friends on and doing like a bunch of different people so that it's not just like me yapping because I can only yap so much with myself, you know?
I would listen to you yap all the time.
Oh,
so if it was just you on there, I would listen.
Stop. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next time. Yeah, follow Phoebe on Instagram. I will link everything for hers in the description. And I will see you guys next time. Stay happy and
live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love. Bye.